Hi, welcome to Alaskan in the Philippines. Today I thought I'd give you all an update on what little I know about this earthquake that happened over in Myanmar and affected Bangkok as well. Sounds like it really kind of hit Myanmar pretty hard. I think the death toll is almost up to 1,700 over there. Buildings, roads, bridges collapsed over there. There's kind of their infrastructure wasn't that great. If you look at the videos online, you'll see where the cracks opened up on the road and all the typical earthquake destruction that you see hit pretty hard there in Myanmar. And those poor people too, they're suffering through a brutal civil war that's been going on for several years too. So their life ain't that great with what they had to begin with, and now to have this destruction. It sounds like international community stepping in to help. They're trying to get resources in, but of course with all the infrastructure broke down, it's going to be very difficult. So hopefully those people can get some help. And I guess in Bangkok, there's damage. A lot of the condos and stuff are damaged, and they have to be inspected first before people can go back into them. From what I heard, to understand, there was tent cities set up around the parks and stuff and a lot of people were reluctant to go back in. I think they're going back in now since there haven't been aftershocks or anything. But a lot of them, it was kind of interesting. A lot of the vloggers there, and a lot of them were able to capture it live. There's several that were vlogging right during it. If you look on YouTube, there's a bunch of, they did a good job of capturing what's going on and what happened right during while it was happening, with the pool sloshing the water down the side. That's pretty dramatic looking, Those tall buildings, like I said, I was in one in Captain Cook and a bad earthquake. It wasn't that bad, but it was bad enough to make the building sway. They actually do this. It's a scary feeling. I could feel it. I'm here in a condo now. I'm on the 7th floor, and there's 12 floors above me. If things collapse, man, and everything here is condos. And it sounds like a lot of people are actually leaving Bangkok. They're not going to stay there no more. And a lot of them are looking for single-story houses, from what I heard. I bet you could jump into a condo in a penthouse suite pretty cheap right now, because people just don't want to be in them, I'm guessing. And besides, a lot of them got some cracks and stress fatigue too. They're going to all have to be inspected, and there's a limited number of inspectors, so that's going to go kind of slow. So I don't know what the death count or toll is in Thailand. I haven't been able to hear it anywhere. The Thai news is in Thai, and I don't have my TV anyway. I don't know how to turn it on. It's stupid. But yeah, and so I heard a lot of people from here are going to Bangkok to help out, and a lot of them going to get work too. There's going to be a bunch of work there. From what I heard, a lot of people with tools, anybody that could go did leave a lot of the stuff to go up there and help. And I've also noticed, being in the mall yesterday, we're supposed to kind of be coming on to low season, and I'd seen the malls is getting less busy. The roads are less busy, and it's kind of returning to normal like it was when I first came here in September. It's still a few more people, but I can notice it's getting less and less of those tour buses going through town. That's how I kind of know when the buses in about late November, all these buses started pulling in, which I didn't see them before. Just go all one right after another. Now and then instantly got crowded. But now I notice the fluctuation of people has come back again, I think. And I think a lot of it is from Bangkok people. They probably want to get out of Bangkok for a while. Here in Hue Hin is a vacation spot for people in Bangkok to get out of the city and the rat race, and they come down here, and there's a nice beach, and they can relax and unwind and get out of the city and horrible traffic. So this is a favorite vacation spot for Bangkok people. And I bet the influx in Pattaya also as well. But I seem like I notice it more here. I go to the mall every day, and I notice the crowd gets a little bigger. And yesterday it looked like and I'm kind of a local now. I kind of walk up the beach, and I can tell who's the local people. I kind of getting to know who's who. And then now I'm walking on the beach. If I see a lot of people standing there taking pictures of sunrises and stuff, a lot of them are Bangkok Thai that are coming down. And I think I noticed more of them on the beach this morning too. So I think they're coming down to get away from it, get a vacation, calm their nerves probably. None of them are real excited to go back into a condo there, I'm guessing. Of course, time will make it all feel better, I'm sure. So yeah, and the reason I noticed the malls, I also noticed it was getting to be a lot of lady boys yesterday. I walked around and must have saw 8 or 10 lady boys. I never see lady boys here. There's some, but not like I saw yesterday. Maybe it was a coincidence. But yeah, my lady boy game eater was going off there for a while. I was left and right. And I think that's what it was. A lot of people coming down from Bangkok and just getting away from it. And I would probably do the same. And that's kind of what my goal is. I don't think I'm going to get hit in an earthquake here in Hue Hin. You can't never say never, but I don't think so. That probably won't have another earthquake in Thailand for another 50 years, maybe, who knows? I don't know. I think the last one was quite a while. But yeah, there could be aftershocks still, and people are probably a little worried about that still. And like I say, I bet people are moving into houses wherever they can find a house, but that's not too many in Bangkok. And honestly, I've seen a lot of videos where the vloggers are saying, I'm out of here. They're leaving. They're getting out of here. Bangkok's got its kind of problems with the smog and stuff and the heavy traffic. And if it starts getting natural disasters, that probably would be just enough to say, a lot of people are just going to say, there's a better life somewhere else. And that's probably what's going to happen. Although Bangkok is a great life, and I'm sure it's all going to go back to normal as it was, the tourism will probably take a hit there for a while, and Thai tourism is probably going to take a hit out of this deal for sure, because I think a lot of the Bangkok people, they're just going to go home or go other places for their tourism, go to another town in Thailand is probably what's going to happen. Maybe Thailand won't suffer as a country, but probably Bangkok will. And I think with probably the infrastructure problems that may have occurred, I think everything's still fairly usable. It's just got stress cracks and stuff going up. I've seen some of the videos of some of the vloggers, and they're showing literally cracks going up the wall of their condo that weren't there, and that would be pretty unnerving. And I've seen one video of a guy packing his bag and walking down through broken concrete in the halls and stuff, just laying on the floor where, it all fell off the ceiling, and he was walking his way out of the rubble. Literally, he videoed himself leaving after the earthquake. So yeah, it's definitely the condos are going to take a hit for sure. If you're looking for a cheap place, if you got the nerve, man, you could walk into a pretty nice place right now, I'm guessing, But then again, you don't know too, because a lot of them are shut or got to be inspected too, and they may be shut down, and they're not going to be able to rent them. And there might be actually a housing shortage there. Who knows? But I doubt that. Actually, it's probably just going to, kick the low season in high gear is probably my guess. It'll just automatically turn into low season, and probably by next high season, which it was almost over anyway, by next high season, everybody will have forgotten it. Every little cracks will be fixed, and you'll come back, and Bangkok won't even, next Christmas and New Year's, it won't even look like an earthquake happened, I'm sure. Hopefully, Myanmar can pull out of this and get the international help that it needs. And yeah, I see they're still looking through the rubble here in Bangkok for that building that collapsed. They're starting to say that I've heard some reports that was a Chinese construction project, and they figure it might have been tofu construction like they do, because that was the only building that actually collapsed so dramatically like that. I ain't saying that was the cause. Maybe it just didn't have the quality of steel, but that's what they're doing. They're doing steel tests on that wreckage right now. The Thai government's getting in there, and they're going through that inspection of the steel and the concrete of what they were using to make sure it was up to building codes. And so some heads may roll, I don't know, but as an ongoing construction project, it didn't have its full stability and all that to withstand an earthquake. So they give them that, but they're looking into it, because it was the only building that really collapsed. There were some overpasses, I think. But yeah, in Myanmar, they got the bridges. You see a lot of their big bridges are out. A lot of that just pancaked down like you typically see. It's just pretty devastating. Big holes opened up in the road, and hopefully the international community is going to step in. I see Myanmar was on the list of that U.S. aid money that the Doge team just canceled. But the money was for some kind of gender studies or queer studies, mice or something over there in Myanmar. But I seen it was earmarked for Myanmar, and I thought I heard a blurb where they were going to reinstate some emergency disaster relief to Myanmar again after they cut that money, because that money wasn't going to go to it anyway. But I think I heard a blurb in the news where they're going to send some aid, and I'm sure the U.S. will, and other countries will also kick in, I'm sure. Hopefully they can send some teams over to help them out with their recovery if there's anything to recover yet. So it's getting late. I know they're still working hard in Bangkok. They still have some hope left and still working. There's teams and volunteers, international community there too, helping out all the expats that are capable, I'm sure are. But yeah, terrible, devastating thing. And that's just one thing. Natural disasters are a thing in around the world, and nobody gets off that. The U.S. just got devastated with tornadoes and everything else too. So it happens, it's sad to see it when it does, but just Mother Nature, we think we're destroying the earth. The earth can shrug us off like fleas on a dog's back. It don't care about us, really. We're just minute particles on dust on this planet. Well, yeah, hopefully keep saying prayers for those that are working and those that are trying to recover. And of course, if there's anyone else still stranded, please get them out, hopefully. Well, I thought I'd just give you guys an update from just the scuttlebutt I've been hearing. I really don't see the news, the TV, is just hearing what I've heard people talking and seen a little bit of on YouTube. But that's as far as I can tell you. And, well, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.